Everything that you do is just a chance for you to get better. I'm Cole. This is my journey of becoming a professional soccer player, building a bootstrap business, and showing my path to self-mastery. I make these videos to help people create their ideal lives. Today's video is focused on seeing everything that happens to you as training. I've kind of touched on this in my most recent videos, and it's been marinating in my mind. Everything that happens to me in my life is more so training rather than an obstacle in my way. For context, I've just moved to a place that's very distracting and very focused on pleasure and relaxation. As someone who wants to be very control my thoughts and very purposeful for everything I do, it's not very good for me to work on myself and become ultimately who I want to be. I found that I was complaining about this from time to time and using it as an excuse as to why I was falling into distraction and not doing the work that I should have. But I realized that I was just kind of being a bitch and making excuses for me not doing what I should be doing. Point of self-mastery is for me to make the right decision regardless of what position that I'm in or where I'm staying. So I and you have to have this shift in mindset of everything that is happening to you is just a chance for you to be better. So in this instance, since I am in a very distracting place, it's just a training ground for me to work on being focused in an environment that isn't conducive to productivity at all. If I can work and be productive in the worst environments, then it's going to be a lot easier and I'm going to be a lot better at it in environments that are better for it. Of course, what is a good productive environment is different to different people, but for me, going to the beach and hanging out with people all day isn't very good for me to work on what I need to do. But I can't change where I'm at least for the next month. So I can either complain the entire time and not get anything done, or try to work around it and work to be the best version of myself that I can, even in an environment that isn't that great. You can either see any situation as a limitation or just an obstacle for you to get over and become better. Putting yourself through purposeful, difficult times will make you a stronger individual. As long as you don't break in the process and continue to get up and try again, you will become closer to your ideal self. Along the way, it's likely that you're going to lose this perspective over time and fall into the distractions that are going to be in front of you. Especially in a world today that's getting better and better at capturing your attention, there's going to be something that you're going to mess up on, and it's going to take a long time and many failures to maybe even get slightly better. And even myself, as someone who makes these YouTube videos every day and wants to be the best version of myself, I still lose this perspective sometimes and fall into that distraction. But you have to be able to forgive yourself for your past mistakes and try something new. Obviously, what you worked on in the past didn't work, but each time you fall, you have to get up and try something that you haven't tried before to see if that will stick. Life is about continuing to experiment and see what works best for you on your journey. There are things that will come up that you won't see as training, but you can use to become closer to your ideal self. A very good thing to train in distracting environments is learning to say no. I'm someone who really likes hanging out with people. However, I know that a lot of the people that I'm hanging out with aren't on the same path as me and enjoy relaxing too much for the person that I want to become. So I have to get better at saying no and sticking to a closer to ideal of who I want to be. Becoming your ideal self is an endless pursuit. You're never going to reach that perfect version of yourself, but that's okay. Just attempting to get as close as you can will take you a lot farther than anyone else. Along this way, you are going to mess up. So that's why you have to use everything as training. In training, the point is not to perform perfectly every single time. It's to experiment and fail and get back up and try again. Get reps on reps on reps in, and then over time, as you train every single day to be better, you're going to be ready when you need to perform. Now, performance is different based on what you're trying to do. If you are doing a sport, that's obviously a game. If you're doing a startup, this could be when you're presenting to stockholders or releasing a new product. What counts as a game is specific to you and something that you should define. Anything that is not a game where you have to perform, you have to treat it as training where you're experimenting to continually be better. Every aspect of your life that you want, that you don't have right now, needs to be developed. To get that development, you have to learn to be someone who has that skill. Some things might be easier than others, but both require training and reps. If you treat your entire life as training, you'll have a lot more experience and time spent developing yourself. Therefore, you're probably going to be ahead of what you even thought was possible. I hope you got some value from the video. Thank you for watching.